Hey, what is going on, guys? It is John here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite tips and tricks video for you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can win solo squads or even duo squads here in Fortnite for Season 5. And we all know Season 5 squads is probably the least fun thing to play in Fortnite just because of how weak the shotguns are. It takes like 4 shotgun shots just to get 1 kill. But for those of you guys who want to attempt to go solo or duo squad in Fortnite, maybe you guys like to play competitive, or maybe you just want to go for some kills, or just want some tips. Either way, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks to help you guys win more games in squads for Season 5. And before we get into the video, at 30,000 subscribers, I will be doing a V-Buck giveaway. If you want to enter that giveaway, it's super simple to enter. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. The winners will be chosen on the video hit 30,000 subscribers. There will be 2 winners. Each are winning 2,000 V-Bucks. So if you guys want to win a chance to win some free V-Bucks, make sure you enter the giveaway. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Okay, so in this video, I have a duo versus squad gameplay. And this gameplay was a really good gameplay. I dropped 16 kills in this game. To be completely honest, I didn't even realize it was squads till like halfway through the game, because I was playing squads, you know, the game before, so it was still on squads, and I forgot to change it back to duos. So we loaded up in this game, we thought we were in duos, and eventually we were getting attacked from like 3 people on a team, 4 people on a team, and we were like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh shoot, I think we're on squads. So this was actually a really good gameplay for that. I didn't even realize till maybe, like I said, halfway through, but when I did, I absolutely went to him. I dropped 16 kills in this game. I think my teammate dropped 7 kills, something along those lines, but it was a really good gameplay. A lot of the same tips apply when it comes to duos versus squads and solo versus squad. There might be a little bit of a difference, but a lot of the same tips when it comes to fighting squads still apply. So when it comes to squads, the first thing that, to keep in mind is when it comes to squads, there's 4 people on a team, which sounds, it's kind of obvious, but when you think about 4 people on a team, that means not everybody is going to be stacked as much. So if you're running duos versus squads, understand that you're going to have the advantage when it comes to loot, because if there's 4 players on the other team, that's 8 minis, and a lot of times you guys know how hard it is to find minis in the early game. So for everyone to have minis on a team, which is pretty rare, but when you run into those teams with all 200 health, those are the teams that are going to be the hardest to fight. But a lot of times when you think about it, a lot of squads you're running into don't have a lot of shield. So when it comes to duos versus squad or solo versus squad, a major advantage you have on everybody else that you're playing against in squads is that you're going to have a lot better loot and a lot more loot than other players. So that's really important when going into squads, especially when you're playing solo versus squads or solo versus duos. This applies to any aspects of solo, but especially in solo versus squad, you have to have perfect positioning, because if not, you're gonna get screwed over. Because a lot of the times when you think about it in squads, the second you get attacked by 4 guys at the exact same time in the middle of the open, 9 times out of 10 you're screwed over. You're gonna be dead, because if you're fighting 4 people in the middle of the open all by yourself, nobody else to help you, a lot of times you're gonna get screwed over, because there's gonna be 4 people shooting out your walls, shooting from above you, shooting from below you. That's a really bad situation. So when you're playing solo versus squads or duo versus squad, always try to keep as much positioning as you can, which means to try to keep the high ground as much as possible. That doesn't mean just keep building higher. That just means, like, if there's a hill, being a little bit above a team that might push. And that's especially important when you're playing solo versus squads. I can't stress this enough. When you have good positioning, that's going to give you the best advantage. You need to have every advantage possible, because you're already down 4-1 or 1-3, depending on how many players you're fighting, maybe even 1v2. But you have to have perfect positioning. So me running in here, a lot of times, if you want to have good positioning, say if there was a team in these factories over here, the best thing you can do is get on top of the factories and then challenge to try to get any sort of height advantage that you can. Just try to do anything possible to get an advantage when it comes to positioning. One thing for me, when it comes to squads, or if I'm fighting more players, it was really important for me. Usually when I'm playing solos, I run 2 meds, right? I run either minis or big shield, and then I run like bandages or something, or maybe even minis and a big shield. I usually run two shields. But when it comes to squads, most of the time I run minis, because I need to get health off as fast as possible. If I'm playing against squads, it's very hard to get shields off, because you're gonna be shot constantly 24/7. So what I do is I carry minis, and then my 5th inventory slot, instead of those bandages or whatever, I carry a sniper, because that's really important. That's something that I use a ton, because you already know the shotguns don't do enough damage, and it's really important when you're playing squads to try to get that first advantage. try to get some tags off first. That's really important. But if you can get a sniper out and you can get a snipe going into the gunfight, maybe you don't even knock the guy, but if you can do a big damage hit to one of their players and then just push on that player, try to get that guy down, that's going to give you an advantage when it comes to squads. So that's why, you know, instead of having 2 meds, I think it's even better, more efficient, because you're playing squads, a lot of times they have bandages, but they don't have shields. So as long as you carry shields, you should be in a pretty good spot, because they're going to have bandages and you're going to have shields. Just having that extra firepower is really helpful when it comes to squads, in my opinion. That's what I would recommend. My preferred loadout when it comes to solo versus squads or duo versus squads, what I like to run personally is I like to run, of course, say best possible situation once you get, I would say M16 or a SCAR for the first weapon. The second weapon, of course, heavy over anything. Some people like the double barrel, but I personally, if you're playing against a lot of players, you really don't have a lot of reload time, so running a pump is probably your best option, or maybe even tac. So, you know, of course, AR, shotgun, and then the third weapon, always have a drum gun. That is the best gun for Season 5. I've said it so many times, that is the best gun for Season 5. That is a really good gun. And then, of course, after that, you want to have minis, and then after that, a sniper. That is my preferred loadout. Or another really good loadout I like to run is, even if you have a SCAR, drop the SCAR, pick up a drum gun, and so you have the drum gun, the shotgun, and then the third one, that would be an RPG. I wouldn't trade it if you had a grenade launcher, but honestly, that's a really good loadout. That's something I've been running a ton, is just having the drum gun just spray through walls. It's a really close quarter combat loadout. You can't spray a guy across the map, but if you do have a sniper, you do have a little bit of long range advantage, and that's really important. But playing in squads and just having a gun like an RPG that can do a ton of damage, and it isn't really hard to use at all. It's probably one of the easiest guns to get a kill with. That is something that I would definitely recommend using, because if you're getting shot from multiple angles and you need to get a quick shot off, having an RPG that can do, like, I think it does 150 damage, something along those lines, that can do a ton of damage within a second, that is something I would highly recommend when it comes to squads. If you have an RPG, definitely pick it up, pick that up, pick the drum gun up, pick a sniper up, and that should be a really good loadout to use. When it comes to solo or duos versus squads, probably the best tip I can give you guys is isolating your gunfights, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. Alright, so say if you're playing a squad, right, and there's 4 of them, and they're all shooting at you at once, the best thing you can do is this is when you want to challenge your first guy. Well, of course, the best thing to do is get in a good position and then get the first shot on the guy, preferably with a sniper or a knock with an AR. If not, try to get a few tags off, try to do anything to have an advantage. That is the first thing you want to do, and then after that, the best thing you can do is isolate your gunfights, and that is when, say if you're playing against 4, and you have one guy who rushes a little bit harder than the rest, like the rest are sitting back, and say if one of them decides to rush you by himself, you have to kill that guy as fast as you possibly can, and that's extremely important, because if you just keep waiting too long to get a kill, or if you kill too slow, a lot of the times you're going to be running into 4 people at one time. So basically, you want to try to make a gunfight as close to a 1v1 as possible. You don't want to try to fight 4 people at the exact same time, and it can be pretty difficult to do, but you'll see moments where you see a guy isolated or he's rushing you by himself and it's a 1v1. Especially in squads, you have to take advantages of opportunities. You have to wait. As soon as someone messes up, you have to take an advantage, and there is times in the gunfight where you have to go for the kill. And what I mean by that is, say there's just 4 people just absolutely spamming and one of them just happens, you have a clear open shot on them, you have to go all out on that guy, even if it means you die in that situation. There's some points where you literally just have to go all out, or eventually you're just gonna get drained of your mats, drained of all your health, and it's just gonna be a horrible gunfight, and you're probably gonna lose in that situation. So there is some situations, it happens a lot, where you just have to go for the kill. You have to go all out and try to kill the guy as quickly as possible, even if it means taking a little bit of damage. But getting a knock is super important, and when it comes to getting a knock, when it comes to squads, a lot of times it's gonna get people to back off, because usually there's one guy or 1 or 2 guys who go for the revive, or maybe they don't even go for the revive. But once someone gets knocked in a duos or squads game, they start playing a little bit different. They don't play as aggressive, and you notice that a lot too when you get a few tags on them, because once you get a few tags on that guy, they start playing a little bit different, and it makes it a little bit easier to kill them, because once their health is down, a lot of the people, they just want to focus on getting their health up, which I would recommend too, getting that health back up. But if you have a clear open shot on a guy, a lot of times, even if you don't have a lot of health, you just got to go all out for that kill. And literally, this trap right here just hit the bottom of my heel. That was really unfortunate. I thought I almost just choked the game and blew it. Luckily, I wasn't playing solo squad because I would have been pretty salty if I died right there in a solo squads game. But my boy Chumley, he clutched it up for me. He clutched it up, got the revive, and we won this game with 16 kills. He got one of the guys, and I got the other guy. Here, as soon as he got the revive, I wanted to just get high ground, try to get any advantage I could, because right now I don't have a lot of health, right? You see I don't have a lot of health, but at the same time I don't want to be at the bottom and have a really bad positioning. So I get up a little bit, get good positioning. I really wanted to get off my other mini, but right now I want to get high ground first. And that's something really important. If you ever want to heal, the best thing you can do is get high ground and then heal up. You really don't want to heal on the low ground, because that's when you get shot from multiple different people. And if you ever have low ground in a game of squads, you're going to get screwed over a lot of the time, because you're going to have people shooting you from above, from different angles. You want to try to make sure that you're only getting shot from one angle. That's the best thing you can do. That's really important. Right here, knowing my luck, I probably was going to get one pump, so I didn't want to play too aggressive on these guys, because I didn't want to jump down there and get knocked again, because that's the last thing I'd want to do. So I wanted to play a little bit more safe and try to get a easier kill on this last guy. And playing the circle is really, really important. That's something I noticed in squads. I get screwed over a lot of the times by the final circles, or not even by the final circles, but circles that are across the map. You have to be quick and you have to rotate early so you don't get screwed over, because sometimes in squads you can get screwed over not having a lot of mats and not having a lot of health, and that's really important. If you're facing a squad, you need as many mats as you can possibly get. And there we go, 16 kill duo versus squad, very good gameplay. And that's gonna wrap up for my tips for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys learned something, drop a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you're notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I will see you in the next video.